In this video, we are going to be looking at SA University's closing date. It is important for you to understand that we are going to be looking at the closing date for the 2026 academic year, meaning to say the closing date will take place in the current year. So all the dates that I'll be providing will be relating to 2025. However, the application is for 2026. The other important thing that you need to understand is that most health science courses have closed already. For example, Bachelor of Medicine, MPCHB, has already closed. They normally close on the 30th of June. Unfortunately, if you wish to apply for MPCHB in most university, it has already closed. However, there are still a number of other courses in the health science space which are still open. And if you wish to at least do health science, if now you can't apply for MPCHB, you are more than welcome to put the application through for any other health science courses. Now let us look at our first one. Our first university that we're going to be looking at their closing date. It will be University of KwaZulu-Natal. The closing dates for undergraduate application to the University of KwaZulu-Natal for most program is September 30th. That is obviously for 2026 academic year. However, as I've already stated, medicine closes earlier. Medicine has closed already. It's closed on June 30th. So on the 30th of June 2025, MPCHB closed. So these are key points that you need to understand when you want to apply to the University of KwaZulu-Natal. All first-time entering students must apply through CAO form. If you wish to enroll with the University of KwaZulu-Natal next year, which is the year 2026, it is important for you to understand that you need to apply through the CAO form. UKZN does not offer a late application process. If you miss the standard deadline, but it is always best to apply early according to UKZN website. It is very, very, very important that you need to ensure that your application goes through earlier than September 30. By that, you're ensuring that you will be securing the space for the following year, which is 2026 in our case. Be aware that the closing dates for medicine is different from other undergraduate program. As I've already stated, MPCHB or medicine, it has already closed. It closed on the 30th of June. Then the second university that we're going to be looking at, it will be University of Cape Town. University of Cape Town is everyone's favorite university. I believe everyone would like to stay and study in Cape Town. And then we are going to look at the University of Cape Town closing date as well as how to apply. The closing dates for undergraduate application to the University of Cape Town for the 2026 academic year is July 31st. All application must be submitted online through the UCT online application portal. UCT will not consider application received after this date. Again, I encourage you that you put through your application as soon as you can. Do not wait for July 31st because if there are any system issues in the UCT online portal, you will not be able to apply for the course and secure your space for the 2026 academic year. Please make sure you put your application as early as possible and do not wait for July 31st. Then we're going to be looking at our third university that we'll be looking at. It will be the University of Western Cape, normally known as UWC. The closing date for undergraduate application for most programs at the University of Western Cape for the 2026 academic year is September 30. However, application for the Bachelor of Dentistry and Bachelor of Oral Health program closes early, which means they are going to close on August 30. That is obviously according to UWC website. If you want to get more information, please go to UWC website. Then the next university we're going to be looking at, it is University of Free State. The University of Free State undergraduates application for the 2026 academic year generally closes on September 30. However, some programs have earlier closing dates. Specifically, healthy and sport-related program may have an earlier deadline of May 31st. And also international applicants have an earlier date or deadline of August 31st. Please make sure you do not wait for the 30 September to put through application. Apply as early as possible. And also, if you're an international student, that means you are not an SA resident, please also make sure that you do not wait for August 31st to put through application. So here are the key dates for the 2026 regarding UFS, which is University of Free State. The applications are already open. They opened the application on April 1st. There are obviously the courses that have earlier closing dates, which have already closed, which is Healthy and Sport-Related Program. They closed on May 31st. Candidates who would have loved to apply for Healthy or Sport-Related Program, please check other university to see whether their programs are not closed. However, most programs have closed already for the health science. Then July 31st, it's a media closing date for certain program. So please check that your program does not close early, meaning to say it doesn't close on the 31st of July. Then August 31st is for international applicants. Applicants obviously who are not SA residents. Then September, it's a final deadline for all undergraduate applications. The next university we're going to be looking at is University of Limpopo. The University of Limpopo closing date for the 2026 undergraduate application is September 30 for most programs. However, some competitive courses like those in health science may close earlier, possible August 31st. Application submitted after the deadline will likely not be accepted. It is very, very important that you ensure you abide by the closing date and you apply earlier to ensure that your application go through. The application opened on the 1st of April. The general closing date, it's 30 September. However, for competitive courses like the health science, it will close on August 31st. And then make sure that you submit all your supporting documentation by October 31st. So what are the supporting documentation they're talking about? It will be your trial results as well as your June results if you did not submit them during the application process. Possible late application may be considered until November 30 with an additional fee. So it will normally be those courses that are not full in terms of the application. Then they might decide that they will open until November 30. However, you will be paying additional fee for those courses. So therefore, it is very, very important that you ensure you apply as early as possible and you do not wait for late application, as it will attract additional fee and the courses that you might like might have been closed already. The next one that you're going to look at is University of Zululand or UniZulu. The University of Zululand undergraduate application for 2026 academic year will open, or rather they've already opened. They opened on the 1st of March and they will close in September 30. Late application may be accepted after this date, but late application fee will be charged for South African applicants according to varsity-wise. When you're looking at the key dates for the UniZulu, the application opened on the 1st of March and then they will close on the 30th of September. And the late application for South African applicants begins after 30 September with late application fee according to varsity-wise. So you'll be charged an extra fee if you do decide that you are going to wait after September 30th. So as I am writing as I am doing the slide, we are in July. So I'm expecting that you are going to make sure that all your application goes through either now in July or latest next month in August. The next university we're going to be looking at, it's Witwatersrand or Wits University. Wits University has a different closing date for 2026 undergraduate application depending on the faculty and the program. For the Faculty of Health Science, the Bachelor of Architectural Studies, Bachelor of Audiology, Bachelor of Speech Language Pathology, and BA Film and TV programs, the closing date is June 30. So the closing dates have passed for the medicine, for TV programs and films, as well as speech language pathology. For all undergraduate program and resident application, the closing date is September 30. September 30, all other university programs except those that are mentioned, and then the resident application. It has to be done by 30 September. So please make sure you do it either in July or August. Do not wait for September as it might be too late for you. Then the next university we're going to be looking at is Rhodes University. Application deadline for Rhodes University undergraduate program is 2026. For 2026 is September 30. This includes applications for most programs with the exception of Bachelor of Pharmacy, B Pharmacy, and Bachelor of Radiography, BRED, which have an earlier deadline of 30 June. That is according to VarsityWise. There is also an early application deadline of August 2nd for the programs other than MPCHB, B Pharmacies, and BRED, according to the VarsityWise. International students also need to adhere to September 30 deadline. So it is important that you take into account all those closing dates. Please, please, please apply before 30 September. Do not wait for this long. Then the next university we're going to be looking at is University of Fort Hare. University of Fort Hare application deadline for undergraduate program in 2026 is October 31st. Application for the 2026 academic year opened in May, right? So already applications are open. When you're looking at the key dates, the opening date was May 13th, already opened. The closing date will be 31st of October. Important note, it is recommended to apply as early as possible to avoid any late-minute issues. Ensure you have all required documents ready when application portal opens. Then check University of Fort Hare website for any update or specific requirements. So this is what is important for you to take into account when you're applying at the University of Fort Hare. However, when you're looking at the first one, it is applicable for all applications, for all university. And the reason I am saying that it is based on the fact that if you wait longer, you might have a problem. So you need to not to wait very long. Then the next one that we're going to be looking at is Walter Sisulu University. When you're looking at the Walter Sisulu University, will be opening application for the 2026 academic year in June 2nd. That means it has opened already. And the closing date is also October 31st. This applies to both South African as well as international applicants. If you're looking at more breakdown in terms of date, June 2nd, they open their application. Then they will close in October 31st. Application type, it is an online application only. So that means you're not going to be sending any document via postal. Application fee, there is no application fee for University of Walter Sisulu. And then the required documents, you need to upload documents such as your ID, passport, as well as academic transcript. Then that was the last university that we looked at. If there is any other university that you want me to cover in terms of the closing dates, please put it on the comment. Then I will be able to give you the closing date and also any other information pertaining to that university should you have any question. All the best as you apply for the 2026 academic year, and also all the best for your studies in the 2025 academic year. And goodbye.